Okay, so Spanish Anthony, formerly known. I love talking to you because you're just the type of person that I instantly connected with, and we can go months without talking, and then the second I see you is completely how it was. And
It's true.
I
It's nice. It's nice to talk to you. I've been very excited for this since you told me. So yeah, it's nice to be here. It's good to talk to you.
Oh, thank you for being on this show. Well, you're just a perfect candidate because even though for people that don't know, From the Bone, I love you has always been your slogan, and everyone kind of knows you as this, jolly, friendly guy, but it is a lot deeper than that. And to put you on the spot right away, I know the story of how it all started, but for everyone who doesn't know, why is I love you this phrase for you?
I jumping right in. All right,
Jumping right
let's.
in.
Yeah, definitely. The I Love You thing started. I had a friend in high school who I got very close with, and he had, an issue with drugs, we could say, and it got the best of him, and he passed away. And our thing was always, I love you, and he would always tell me that he loved me, and vice versa. And also, we were just super close. He told me a bunch of secrets about himself that I didn't really know our entire lives growing up. A clue in on the streets. I feel like, since he's passed away, I could probably talk about it. He was a homosexual and nobody knew, and I didn't know until we graduated high school, and he got sober and clean for a good amount of time, but he fell back in. And when he passed away after that, I was like, I just have to tell. I can't not say this to people. You never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, it makes you really value relationships. And I love that about you. And that was always something I think that's why I always felt so connected because you get an energy with people and you can tell who's genuine and who's not. But you do work in a really tough field where a lot of your fans are not always the most accepting. So it's easy to joke about mental health and to kind of laugh your pain away. But how do you deal with criticism sometimes? And how do you keep yourself in a good headspace?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how it happened. I guess that's not true. I always make the joke of, the job that I have. Not like, it's not abuse really, or like bullying. It's just fun. We just have fun with each other. But if you ever listen to the show, as I know you have, it's a lot of, we rib each other. But luckily, we're all close friends. But that ribbing kind of, over time just makes you kind of realize that words are just words. And I've grown to adopt the opinion of, your, or I guess the thought process of, your opinion of me is really none of my business. So when I go on my social media and there's a lot of stuff about, I'm this or I'm that, or, whatever, I kiss ass too much, or maybe even just that I'm, sometimes I was going bald, I used to be fat, all this stuff. You just get used to it. And you just realize, yeah, you just realize it's just
Yeah,
words. It's just words. I'm the one giving them the weight and the power over me.
that's true.
So,
I
yeah.
like
So
that
it's
you
like,
said that. There's a lot of times whenever I can feel that someone else's words are affecting me, the most frustrating thing about it is that I'm allowing them all this power. And I think to myself, why am I giving this person so much power? And that's the whole battle, right? Like not letting people that shouldn't have your energy have it.
yeah, it's wild too, because you, at least for me, some days I'm very much, I don't care what anybody says. And I can go on my Twitter or my Instagram or whatever, and read a whole bunch of heinous things that people are saying about me, and none of it will bother me. But then I'm like a idle Tuesday at like 9 a.m. I'll read something where some guy was just like, I think you could have done a better job on this segment, and that will just like shatter my entire world, will just come crumbling down. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know how I got that was one guy on a Tuesday, destroy the rest of my week, but it happens.
Yeah, and I imagine there's also a little bit of truth if you don't believe them with anything in you, it's easier to shake it off. But if there's a party that's already insecure about it and someone taps in, then it's so much easier to get to the gut.
Uh,
But I know that you said the guys were giving you a little bit of shit for coming on my show, and we got to give them a segment. So I think I have the perfect question for your segment if you're ready.
Okay, yeah. But all right. After your question, then I have a
Oh,
question for
okay.
you. But you can go with your question first. I'm very excited.
Okay. So, what is it like being the only attractive guy on the show?
Oh my God. That's a great. I love that question. I love that question. It's hard. Sometimes it's tough. It's tough being the only one who's got the good looks. They're tall though, so I got to give them that. They are both all the other dudes. Pat, my roommate is the only one that's my height. But all the other dudes on the show are like 6 feet or taller. That's the only thing
I
they
love
got
you
though.
actually
So
explaining this. I'm totally giving you just material to fuck with them, right? But of course,
yeah.
not to say you're any less attractive. I
Oh,
wanted
listen,
to
I know
see
it.
their faces with that one.
Liz, I own mirrors, Haley J. Right now, I can see myself. So you don't have to. It's okay. I get it. I get it.
See that? See that guy?
That's a big one. You got a full length, man.
I feel like in this mirror it looks really big, but the door's actually like down there and it stops like right where my hand is. So it's not as cool as it looks, but I'm
Listen,
gonna go with it. I should have just let you go with it.
it's still very cool, and I may partake in a little bit of the edibles because you pointed at the mirror, and I literally was just like, "Huh? What? Can I see it closer if I get
Can
closer
I
to the
touch
thing?"
it?
I can't. It's not how it works. Yeah,
um,
yeah. That's not how it works.
wait, ask me what you were gonna ask me, and then we'll get into our high talk.
Oh, yes. I want to know why am I? I thought we were close friends. You got all these other people coming. I heard Mo was on before me. Drew said what? I thought we were tight, Haley J. I thought we were tight.
Oh, why weren't you on before?
Yeah, well, I feel so left out.
To be honest, I don't have a good answer. I made a list of everyone that I wanted to talk to, and I would just randomly pick people that honestly had no order, truthfully. And I'm sorry you felt that
So
way.
you're saying it's because it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that they're more attractive than I am, and you're just adding to that now.
Absolutely not. If anything, I didn't want it to be too obvious that I was giving you attention, so I had to kind of space it out
Oh,
this way for the sake
okay.
of everyone else to be comfortable. It's just the kind of person I am. Always thinking of others.
You're sneaky. I like your style.
Thank you.
I like your style.
Thank you. Okay, so we were talking about high thoughts, and a lot of times it could be just like funny, but honestly, I never really enjoyed smoking weed. And then I moved to California, and it just was a matter of finding the right strand. And I'm still not like a huge pothead. I get high much faster than I think the average person would, but I think way more deeply when I'm high. And now I'm having these thoughts sober, and I'm just like tapping in to like all these little hidden nuggets in my brain. And it's actually really cool. I'm learning a lot. And then I think of dumb things
So
also.
first, I want to ask. Yeah, but I sometimes that's all perspective. So they could all be dumb. Who knows? But I want to know
Okay.
why did you take so long to join the pot train, man?
Because
What
I
were you
just
waiting
didn't,
for?
well, I didn't have good experiences ever. I was always super anxious. And then one time I had a horrible experience with a little bit of an edible. I had a bite of a brownie when I was visiting California, and nothing in me thought, oh, I'm in California, this could be strong or whatever. So I took a bite, and the plan was one bite, but it was like a chocolatey center. So when I hit the chocolate, I was like, well, I mean, if I'm going to have the brownie, that is the part to have.
Yeah.
So then I took another bite, and it was just like a TV show of all the stages of like laughter, paranoia. Like I just hit every single mark. One of the worst nights of my life. And I ended up not smoking for about 2 years since that experience. And then both my roommates were always smoking. So just being back around it, I was like, okay, I'll try here and there. And I just realized I'm a indica hybrid kind of girl, not a sativa girl. And that's my sweet spot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a chill. I
Okay.
don't
Well,
like,
that's
I'm not
interesting
going to
because I'm
smoke and
a.
go out ever, unless it's like a grocery store, because that's of an adventure. But I'm not going to want to go to a party if I'm high at all for now.
Oh man, see, we are opposites in that way. I am a
Really?
sativa guy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Life's an adventure, man. You got to go out and live it, bro. So I love getting super stoned. Going to the grocery store is an absolute blast
But
when you're
like
stoned.
also
But if you
overwhelming.
get yes, very. But that's all. It always, it
You're like, I
always
have
seems a little
so
overwhelming. I went
many
to Best Buy
choices.
the other day, and I forget
Well,
what I was looking for. Yeah, yeah. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was at the Best Buy and I'm trying to like find like a certain, I don't know, it's like SD card or something stupid. And I kept looking at, like all the labels, and all the labels ended up combining into like the same thing that I was reading over and over again. And I just freaked out, and I was like, I got to get
it
out of
was
here. I was
too
like,
much.
I can't
Yeah.
even be a part of this.
No,
Yeah. But it's part of the
that sounds
adventure, you know?
too like numerical and intricate for me.
Uh,
That doesn't sound like the fun thing when I'm high. It'd be like, let's keep it light.
yeah, like I'm gonna either pick peas or mangoes today. I'm not gonna try to find, like you said, like the right number card. It was ridiculous.
Wow, I'm having mangoes in my dinner tonight.
Helly, I don't know if you could see me, but you're breaking up.
No.
If
You're
you could see me, I
I
can't. Oh, there you are. Hello?
you're a little patchy, but I haven't lost you. So I was just going with it and praying.
I oh no, I'm sorry. You
No,
went you went black, but
you
now
can
you're
keep
back. Good news. Now
talking.
you're back. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You can keep talking because on my end, I'm still hearing you and seeing
Do
you.
you like Okay. All right. Cool. So I don't know. I think we were talking about being stoned at Best Buy and
Yeah.
the grocery store and sativa. So wait. So you're an indica or slash hybrid, right? So that
Yeah,
means
that's
every
right.
once in a while you dip into the sativa. So, well, I guess yeah,
Yeah.
because you're just new to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
So hybrid
so
is
when you are
sativa
dipping
also,
into
huh?
the hybrid, do you? Yeah. So do you just not like being in groups or in like big social settings when you're stoned?
I just get like very paranoid that I'm doing.
Overwhelmed?
Yeah, and I'm always like concerned that what I said was stupid or that I'm being
Oh yeah,
annoying.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've realized one of my biggest insecurities, like call me any name in the book. Please don't call me annoying. I hate being annoying. So if I feel like I'm being annoying, I'm just like, oh God. Like I have actually my roommate and I have a funny story of just how opposite sometimes your thoughts can be. We were watching a movie and I'm working on this, but sometimes when I'm high, I feel the need to make every little comment I have about a character, whatever it is, throughout the movie. And I'm trying to be like, shut up, like watch the movie. Like they don't need to know what you think of everything. And so I was consciously trying to like stop making comments because I felt like I was being annoying. And I, of course, have to turn to my roommate and be totally transparent of what I'm thinking. And I told her, I'm so sorry if I was annoying. I just felt like I was making so many comments during the movie. And she thought I hated it because I wasn't talking that much. So it was just complete opposite thoughts. And yes, this is about a movie in this instance, but I always just remember that because I think that that happens a lot to us in life where we're so worried about how we're coming off, and the person might be thinking the exact opposite of what we think. So I try and carry that lesson with me.
That's a pretty good lesson and something that I guess I do forget too sometimes. Not as much as like talking to people during a movie, but I think a lot of people do that. I don't think you're alone in that. I'm dating somebody right now, and she does that a lot. No matter what we're watching, whether it's a show or it's a movie, and I find that I keep having to say, I'm watching the same thing as you are. I don't know the answer to all of your questions, or I don't know, what's
You're like, this
happening
is my
specifically
first
right
time
now.
too.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But it's funny because
It's a funny response.
the older that I get, yeah, well, it's the older that I get. To your point of not wanting to feel dumb or annoying, is I know how easy it is to make somebody feel dumb or annoying. So I try to, in instances like that, because my knee jerk reaction is to just want to bust balls and be like, what do you do? Don't be, I have no idea. What are you talking about? But instead, I'll have to pump the brakes and be like, hey, listen, we're watching together. So let's enjoy and go on the journey together.
That's when you just have like a bowl of popcorn or something and you're like, and just offer her some. Yeah. So basically, how do you keep yourself just not feeling shitty when you wake up in the morning? What do you mentally go through to get in a good outlook?
Well, I think my job has a big part to do with it. I work on a show, the Mike Calta show out of Tampa, and I love everybody that I work with. So my job has been, and working in radio, like being able to talk. Mike talks about this a lot, and I totally agree with him. Um, Having this job kind of lets me talk about a bunch of stuff. So if I have a bad night or something going on in my life, I use the show as a way to talk about it. And it's normally a double-edged sword. Normally, you get people that are on your side, want you to feel better, then you have people that just crap on you the whole time. So I think having that job is what keeps me sane and keeps me happy a lot. And I was saying, well, to my buddy Gio and to Pap, who my roommate, that our motto last year was kind of like, just happy to be here, bro. Like, I'm just happy to be in the game still and to have a job and to be okay. I got sick and I was all right. Didn't end up in the hospital or nothing. So I was just happy to be here, man. So this
Yeah.
year it's now, just just stay out of trouble and
Yeah,
you know.
appreciating what you can. I've definitely been working on that too, where
Uh,
it's always good and great to want more, but to also recognize where you are and how far you've come, and just to be grateful for what you still have each day. And I know it's kind of cheesy, but like these are the things that we have to remember to keep us sane, because the world is a really dark place, especially within this past year. And have you found in sharing with other people, which I really do admire, by the way, especially being a male in radio, just opening up about any type of mental health struggle or whatever it might be, I think is really cool. But have you had people that did give good advice or did give any type of positive feedback? Did your situation help them feel better about themselves?
yeah. Usually, yeah. Hopefully, in through the job and through opening up, you can help a lot of people either feel better about it or feel like they can talk about it. Whether it be mental health or sex problems or problems with the relationship or even just like life problems, like when you're young and you just forget to pay bills and you're like you feel helpless because you're just like, god damn it, no matter what I do, I just keep forgetting to pay this, these bills or whatever it may be. I hope that I could help somebody. Just you're normal in life. Life is what it is. There's no I don't know what everybody's such a rush to do everything for. Is what's what happens when you get there? Then you're there, and then what? Then what do you do? You just go
On to
find
the
something
next
else.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, well, just
I'm
relax,
working
man.
on
You got
that.
time. Yeah, everybody just relax.
Do
You
you
know?
know where you kind of got this mentality from though? Because for me, I'm figuring out a lot of things I picked up from my parents. So is that what your family's like? Are you guys more on the laid back side?
No, I am definitely the black sheep of my family. My mother is very career. Both of my parents, not just my mother, both of my parents are very career oriented. They both were like doctor, lawyer, engineer are your choices. How I found my job was just out of being like, nah, I'm not, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And being like that, I kind of through, I guess not from being like that, but from living my life, I've seen enough of death to have accepted the fact that that's coming regardless. So I feel when I talk to other people, I have through what they give me back when I tell them about myself, I've come to realize about myself that I just have accepted that as a part of my daily life. And it doesn't really, I don't have that fear. And when I do stuff like getting this job, a lot of people are like, I wouldn't even know how to start to do it. I literally just called them up one day and was like, I want to be your intern. It took me 3 hours to get through, but I just did it. Cause I know that eventually we're going to die. So, and then when you're dead, like, what are you going to care about any of the stuff that you did in your life? You're not, because you're going to be dead. So just chill, man. It's, relax.
It's really interesting. I wonder, when you see loss and you see illness and all this pain, it's always awful in the moment, but it does change us. And a lot of times for the better. Like, I don't think I would be the same person if I didn't experience what I experienced with my mom. And it really does seem like having those hardships in your life kind of early on shaped your view for just a bold future in a way that you don't recklessly go through life, but you also know that life is so short that you have to, we don't have time to waste, honestly. Like, you have to pursue what makes you happy, because you're right. At the end of the day, we're rushing to, what I do, I'm checking things off the list, but then you get there and you're like, okay, cool, I checked it off the list, but I still feel kind of empty. And I think that's what we're seeing, especially out here in LA, and seeing celebrities that have all the money and the fame, and it's just still not enough. That's really what showed me that's not the life I want, that I can, still be here and love the city, but that I don't have these goals just to look good on the outside for everyone else and be miserable on the inside, because that's a really sad life if you're living for everyone except yourself.
Yeah, which is a good thing that you realize that, and that people realize that, because you know you don't want to. I forget who it was, but I had a philosophy professor, and he told me this quote, and I'll never forget the quote, but I forget who said it. And the quote is basically, if you think of a goal as like a pinnacle, right, and you get there, what do you do after that goal, right? You have to fall back down to then find a new goal to climb to the pinnacle. And he was like, you can either do that, or if you start to think of your life as more of a, I don't know what a good analogy it would be, but kind of like a movie. And then when it ends, instead of seeing credits and you walk out of a movie theater, it's just over and it's just a black screen. So just enjoy what's going on in front of you. And you know what? If you want to change the scenery, change the scenery. You
Mhm.
want new friends or you want a new job, do it. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I'm not saying, leave your family if you're, you just feel like up and leaving and stuff within reason, but I think people forget that we all have this power
Mhm.
over what we're doing and what we subject ourselves to. And if you forget that and you don't take control of that, you wind up fucking living like 30 years and you wake up one day and there's those people that you read about where they're just like, I don't know what I've been doing. I've been in a haze and now,
Yeah.
I'm here and
That's
you're like, oh, damn, that
You
sucks,
know,
bro.
you're like being so relatable right now, because that's why I moved from Florida. I loved it. Obviously, my family was there, I was enjoying my job, but at the same time, I felt like I was on autopilot, where I was going to wake up and it's 20 years had gone by and I never put myself out there and did all the things that I said I would do, like move to California. So I just feel like all those pushes are so necessary to, like, how are you supposed to know who you are unless you listen to the what the inner voice is telling you? Like, you have to
Yes.
explore that, good or bad. And like you said earlier, all these things are subjective that are good or bad. So usually, even though it's hard to remember this in the moment that shit's happening, but you change in a good way after a bad experience. A lot of times your mind is shifted in a way that unfortunately you may have been forced to think like, but sometimes it takes that to get us to see what we need to see.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And you have a very optimistic view of how people handle strife. I am unfortunately more on the pessimistic side, where I see more people that when bad things happen, they tend to use it as an excuse
Mhm.
to, you know, not become worse or
Their
whatever. But
own downfall.
people use things as an excuse or whatever. But that goes to show of your personality and more of how you see things. And it shows that you just see good in people, where I think it's easy sometimes to see the bad in people. And maybe that's part of the whole I love you thing, is like, maybe part of me needs to remind myself that everybody deserves to be loved. I do feel like everybody deserves to be happy
Mhm.
throughout their daily lives, like period. That should be something that everybody strives for across the board.
Well, a lot like you, in the sense of you finding solace with the show and having good people around you. That's what for me has helped me cope through my trials and tribulations, because I have incredible family around me. I have incredible friends. And I do believe that makes a difference. If it was just me and I had all these people trying to bring me down, I'd be in a much different place. But I also credit us, because we choose that surrounding, just like you said, that we forget we have the power. We control who is in our lives and who's worthy of our energy. And this is all easier said, in hindsight when you look back
For
on
sure.
things.
Yeah.
But
For sure.
yeah, it's like back to those high thoughts. It's like I've been tapping in a lot to why I am the way I am. And just even remembering that, oh, I can change my mind. Or, if you don't like something that you planned for the next day, it's like, well, who planned that? And, easier said than done. Sometimes money forces you to have to go to a job you don't like or be in a situation you don't like. But to me, if you're going to complain, but you can't say one thing you're doing to try and fix it, I don't really have sympathy for you. Give me one thing. I don't care how small it is, but if you're not trying at all, stop complaining.
Yeah, I not only do I 100% agree, but yeah, I take it a step further, and it's like, yo, bro, if the first thing when you, and I know, like I said, like you said, it's so much easier said than done. But I know enough people have said it around me in my daily life to know that it's talked about amongst people, and that is just being more aware of what being grateful is. If you just take a second that, hey, everything might be terrible, but I still have hair. I don't know. That's a bad
Yeah, you're
example.
right.
You know what I mean? It's a bad example, but
I see what you mean. Like even the smallest things. I have all of my arms and legs. Like some people
right.
don't.
Yeah. And well,
Absolutely.
that's the thing. Like some people don't like, know, I like, I wish, I don't really know how to phrase what I want to say, but I wish, I wish there was a way to just make people more happy, I guess, and just take people out of what they get sucked into on their daily lives, which is what I guess I try to do with my job.
Yeah, I was gonna
But I wish
say,
I
I
could,
think that's what the show is, and that's probably
yeah,
why that makes you feel so fulfilled. Because, yeah, it's a distraction, if anything, and it's an escape.
I hope so. I really hope it is, man. I really hope it is, because people deserve to be so much happier on a much more
Yeah.
regular basis. Yeah, it sucks. Like, especially being, in Florida, everything's way more open around here.
Mhm.
So we have way more human interaction. And I can see, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I can see, and I can just hear everybody back at the show. If they ever heard me say this, they're just going to just tear me apart. But I
This is
remember,
recorded.
yeah. So I remember going to Publix like before everything was locked down, and there was never like a feeling of like real dread,
Yeah, yeah. Not like that
And
hurricane
now,
vibe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now you can go to Publix, and everybody just feels like super on edge, and one body's going to say the one wrong thing, and it's just going to be like an all-out food fight in there. It's going to be
God.
terrible, which I hope goes away again sometime soon.
I'm surprised to hear you say that now because I actually felt like things were less feeling like that a little bit. But um I don't want to lose you, so I feel like this is a good place to end it. Even though I could talk to you forever, I'm getting my internet notifications again, but I just wanted to say that in this search of trying to make the world a better place and hoping that everyone has happiness, I do think it starts with us making those decisions one person at a time, and you're definitely someone doing that. So I really appreciate just you spreading the love, and it might seem small to you, but it makes a big impact in the end.
I hope so. And I'd just like to tell you that I love you, and I hope you have a great rest of your night.
I love you. Thank you, Spanish. And I will definitely talk with you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.